Hi everyone, first-time poster, 34 male. I've been with my partner, 32 female, for a little over 3 years. We've lived together for about 2 years and we don't have kids together. Last week she asked me to take her car for an oil change and to fill up the tank while she was packing for yet another work trip. These work trips are at least twice a month, always include flights, and she's vague about the details. I've had my suspicions for some time. She's always glued to her phone and doesn't let me near it, but I never had proof until I got in the car. Passenger side footwell, tucked under the floor mat, an open condom wrapper. I stared at it for a minute, like my brain couldn't compute what it was. When I brought it up that night, she didn't even blink. Just launched into some ridiculous story about her best friend hooking up in the car, but not sealing the deal. Didn't even have the courtesy to look ashamed. Just a shrug and a, haha, guess I should vacuum better. I didn't laugh. I let it sit for a couple days and started digging. Nothing obvious on her phone. She hides things too well. But I found a second phone charger in her suitcase. Then a bottle of lube in a zippered side pocket. A bill from a hotel from 2 weeks ago, booked in a man's name. The same week she told me she was at a conference in Tampa. That hotel wasn't in Tampa. So I confronted her again. Still no apology. Just a heavy sigh followed by, I haven't technically done anything wrong. We weren't in a good place. Then she pivoted, said I was distant, that I had been emotionally unavailable for months, that she was hurting and needed to feel wanted again. It was the first I ever heard any of it. She admitted to talking to someone for a few months. Then it came out they had sex just once in our bed, by the way. I didn't ask, she just threw that in there for maximum damage, I guess. Then she got mad at me for not responding. She told me I was making her feel unimportant by not showing a more pronounced reaction. All the while I was sitting frozen trying to process everything. I don't even know what to say anymore. I've spent the last few nights sleeping on the couch. I've barely eaten. The gaslighting is unreal. She alternates between guilt-tripping me and crying about how she ruined everything. Not because she cares about the damage she did to me, but because now she feels unloved and abandoned. I'm not doing this. I'm not begging for honesty. I'm not crawling into couples therapy just to be blamed for why she spread her legs for someone else. I haven't told anyone in real life yet. My family liked her, and I'm honestly embarrassed. But there's also a very crucial fact. The more I think about this, the more I realize how checked out I've been emotionally for a while now. I just didn't want to admit that this was where we were heading. Maybe in a certain way, I probably pushed her to do this, but it doesn't really matter. She probably thinks this is another one of her shenanigans I'm gonna just shrug and move on from. Like when she maxed out my credit card or when she lost my very old disabled cat. She made dinner tonight like nothing happened. I ate like nothing happened too. She talked about getting a dog next year. I didn't say anything. I just stared at her and wondered how long she's been living this double life. Was this even the first time? I'm going to get my ducks in a row, contact a lawyer, and figure out my finances. I'll probably make another post when I start untangling everything like out-joint bills, shared lease, what to do with the place. Thanks for letting me get this out. Update 1, feel like I'll never be happy again. I don't even know what I expected to feel after she moved out. Relief? Closure? Some kind of release? Instead, it feels like I've been hollowed out and left behind in the wreckage. I've been struggling hard and today is a particularly rough day. Every single day hurts. I keep having these flashbacks, not even just of D-Day itself, but the hundreds of little moments I now see differently. All the times she pulled away or smiled at her phone or came home from a trip just a little too glowing. It's like my brain is stitching together a horror movie I never agreed to watch, and I can't turn it off. I'll be doing something normal, something dumb like brushing my teeth or folding laundry, and suddenly I'm right back in that moment, holding the receipt, hearing her lie, realizing it wasn't just paranoia. I haven't told anyone this in real life. I know I should. I've been drinking a lot. It's gotten worse the last few weeks. I thought I was past that part of my life. But the emotional weight of this, it's unbearable sometimes. I look in the mirror and I don't see someone healing. I see someone broken beyond repair, covered in proof of it. I don't even know what I want anymore. Part of me wants her to beg. Part of me wants her to disappear. I go back and forth between feeling nothing and then suddenly being crushed by sadness so heavy I can't even breathe. I've had nights where I cried until I literally thought my heart would stop, like my body couldn't take it anymore. And what kills me is that I loved her, truly, deeply. I gave her all the boring, everyday love, the kind that shows up and sticks around and builds something. I didn't deserve this. She's still trying to check in. I think she thinks time will make this go away, that if she gives me space, I'll cool off and come around. But she doesn't understand. She never did. She always made everything about her loneliness, her needs, her emotions. Even when she was the one caught cheating. I was just supposed to understand, to forgive on command. I know I need help. I'm looking into therapy. I just don't want to lie and say I'm okay. I'm not. I don't know when I will be. All I know is that I can't live like this forever, and right now forever feels really close. Final update. It's been almost 4 months since D-Day. The divorce is nearly finalized. We don't have kids, no house to split, so it was fairly straightforward. She hasn't reached out in a while. I think even she finally realized there's nothing left to dig her nails into. For months after she left, I was in survival mode. I didn't go out, didn't talk to anyone unless I had to. I let calls go to voicemail, turned down every invitation. My place became this little bunker where I could wall myself off from the world. I thought I was healing, but the truth is, I was hiding. I didn't want to risk more hurt. I didn't want to be seen like that. I barely recognized myself in the mirror. I wish I could say I had some big epiphany that changed everything. I didn't. It was small things. A coworker inviting me to grab coffee after a long day. My sister dropping off groceries and refusing to leave until I promised to eat something real. One night I just got tired of crying alone in the shower and called a therapist. Just said, I need help, and that was enough to start. It's slow. I'm still not better, but I'm not where I was. I joined a local running group. I hate running, honestly. But being outside, moving my body, having people around me without having to talk about the past, it helps. I started reading again. I even let a friend talk me into a weekend trip. It was the first time in months I laughed and didn't feel guilty about it. There are still hard nights, still dreams where I wake up panicked, like it's happening all over again. But I don't feel buried by it anymore. I don't feel like my whole identity is tied to what she did. I'm more than what she broke. I thought I'd never be happy again. I truly believed that. I thought I'd carry her betrayal like a tumor for the rest of my life. Something painful I'd always have to live around. But it's shrinking now. It's still there, but I'm not orbiting it anymore. This will be my last post. I don't want to keep telling this story like it's the only one I have. It's not. I want to make room for whatever's next. Whatever I get to build for myself, without lies, without shame, without someone slowly bleeding me dry while smiling to my face. If you're still deep in it, keep going. It's okay if your healing looks like a mess. Mine did too. But you won't stay there forever. You get to crawl out. You get to start over.